This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, let me introduce you about myself. My name is Ram. I have around 10 years of work experience in IT industry. 10 years of work experience. So we are from E-classes. So I have work experience on SQL Server, MSBI, Power BI, and Azure Data Engineering. So these are the technologies I've been working from last 10 years. And also I'm giving this trainings from last 5 years. So in the today's session, the agenda what we are going to discuss is we are going to focus about the Azure. So many people wants to learn Microsoft Azure, but inside the Microsoft Azure, what are the things we need to learn? Which one is more suitable for us? What are the prerequisites to learn this one? And do we have any kind of background specific to this particular Azure data engineering? And what is Azure? What is a cloud? What is a different kind of services available inside the Microsoft Azure? All those things you need to understand first. The very first basic step what you need to understand is inside the Azure, when you are trying to learn the Microsoft Azure, what are the things we need to learn? What are the different kind of job openings available? If I am learning something inside this Azure, what kind of positions and jobs I'm getting? So first you need to understand about that thing. Without understanding this thing, if you are trying to learn if you are trying to learn Azure, there is no meaning of that. So your target is first you need to fix it. Okay. So inside the Microsoft Azure, I can say there are four different kind of jobs available. When you are trying to learn the Azure, you need to decide which one is suitable for you. The very first one is Azure developer and Azure data engineer, Azure admin, Azure DevOps. So these are the four different kind of job roles available. So what you need to do is you have to identify which course is suitable for you. So when you are going to learn this Microsoft Azure in high level, we are dividing this Microsoft Azure into four different courses. So one is Azure developer, and the second one is a Azure data engineer, and the third one is a Azure admin, and the fourth one is Azure DevOps engineer. So what kind of background people will come to Azure developer? Azure developer background mostly the people who are having a .NET Java background and de- designing of the apps, application development people are more interested about the Azure developers. The services what inside this Microsoft Azure, the Azure developers are using related to the application development. So these people are purely coming from the background like Java, Java, .NET, or app development, any kind of app development features. Who are having that background, they will prefer this Azure developers. Who wants to become app developers, they can go ahead with Azure developers. Coming to the Azure admin, sorry, Azure data engineer. So what is a data? So nowadays, when you are going to do any kind of business, definitely there is some data is generating. Any event occurred in any event happen, that is that will be recorded like a data, right? So you were traveling from Hyderabad to Chennai, That means definitely you will book a ticket, or you are doing something in this world that will be saved like a data, correct? So there is a lot of importance currently for the data. So because of that much of importance, we need to organize the data, we need to store the data securely, and we need to process the data. You need to store the data and you need to process the data. Processing means cleaning of the data. The data what we have, it might not be a cleaned data. Why we need this data? By using this data, we can able to design some kind of reporting and analysis to take decisions about their business, correct? You started a business, 10 supermarkets you have started. In the 10 supermarkets when you are starting, each supermarket there are a lot of customers will visit and purchasing the products. The moment when they are purchasing the products, what will happen? The data you are storing somewhere. So once you are storing the data somewhere, then as a CEO of these supermarkets, you want to understand which product getting more sales, which product is getting less sales. Based on that, you want to maintain the stock over there. So that is the reason you have to take care about this data. Whatever the data is generating in your supermarkets, the transactions data, you need to store, process, and manage. Manage means maintenance of the data, processing means cleaning of the data, storage means you need to store this data. So all these three activities will be taken care by Azure Data Engineer. Azure Data Engineer, the person whoever is going to work on the data available inside the Microsoft Azure cloud environment. So that person is a Azure Data Engineer. He is going to completely managing, processing and storing of the data. The data might be any kind of data. It might be a structured, unstructured, or semi-structured, or whatever the data you are going to manage, process and store over here. Understand? So Azure Data Engineer completely taking care of the data related activities inside the Azure. So what are the prerequisites to learn this Azure Data Engineering courses? The prerequisites: basic SQL programming. Basic SQL you should learn to start your career with Azure Data Engineering. If I don't know anything about SQL, can I start Azure Data Engineering course to learn? Yes, you can start. But ultimately, before you are going to finish this Azure Data Engineering course, you have to learn at least the basic SQL. Either you can do a self-learning, or we are conducting SQL server classes as well. You can join to the SQL classes as well. So anybody wants to come to work related to the data, then definitely they should have some knowledge on the SQL. SQL is a common fundamental language everyone should learn, whoever wants to come to IT industry. Even these Azure developers also need this data, SQL. They also should learn SQL some basics. The Azure data engineer definitely should have some basic SQL knowledge prior to this course. All right. So this Azure developer and Azure data engineer, these two people are developing a project. These two people are developing a project. And Azure admins. Azure admin, what he will do? Azure admin is going to providing some kind of access. Administrative things they will take care. Access, security, and creating the services inside, installing the softwares. All those kind of activities Azure admins will take care. And Azure DevOps. What do you mean by Azure DevOps? Earlier days we don't have this concept. There is a developer, there is a admin. Then who is Azure DevOps? A DevOps is nothing but a person who is going to taken care of the project. A developer will and a data engineer develop a project, but who is going to manage the project? See, let's say for example, I got one of the project from the e-classes. Sorry, I got a project from for the client Reliance. Reliance has given a project to e-classes. Then definitely what you will do, you will hire some developers, 4 data engineers, 4 Azure developers. They are going to start the project. But to start the project, you need to organize your project. Like, okay, in the first 2 weeks, what are all the part of the task we need to finish? In the second week, what is the part of the task we need to finish? In the third week, what are the tasks we need to finish? And who is going to work on this particular task? And whatever the code the developers develop, how you are going to store, where you are going to keep that code, and how to deploy from one server to another server. So all these kind of things will be taken care by DevOps team. Development plus operations. Development will be taken care by Azure developer and a data engineer. Whatever the developers develop, so how you are going to perform some kind of operations on that particular developmented code, then that Azure DevOps engineer will take care about the project management team. So out of these 4 different kind of technology, different 4 different kind of job roles, which one we are going to choose? Azure data engineer. Why we need to choose Azure data engineer? Because this is very simple working with the data. Instead of learning these apps development and all those things, better we can learn with a good future. If you want to become a data scientist also, you should have this data engineering experience. If you want to become a data scientist, then you should have a data engineer skill set as well. And this admin and DevOps engineers, there are very less number of positions. There are very less number of positions. If in a project, if you have 10 developers and data engineers, only one admin, one DevOps engineer will be available. So very less positions. So that is the reason we are not recommending these two. And we are not interested about the background of this app, Java.NET kind of background, then it is very easy Azure data engineering. So what is a Azure first? First we need to understand what is a Azure. So before you are going to understand Azure, what is a cloud? That is very fundamental thing. What is a cloud? What is a on premises? What is a cloud and what is on premises? What is a Microsoft Azure? And what are the different deployment modes available? What are the different categories of services? Categories of the services. And what are the advantages of cloud? So what is a cloud computing? Before that, what is an on premises? Your premises, where you are working, where you are standing, where you are living, that is your premises. For example, we are all the 4 developers, 4 graduates, recent graduates. What we are thinking, we got a project from the e-classes, and we want to start this project, a kind of a startup company. So if you want to start up a project development, definitely you need at least some infrastructure. The infrastructure includes CPU, RAM, hard disk, laptops, power, building, water, internet, security, networking between all systems, and the softwares required in each computer, operating systems, all these things needs to be set up. Even for the 4 people also, you have to be make security in between all the systems and proper networking and everything you have to take in care. To start and to implement this infrastructure, whatever I said, right, all this is called a infrastructure. As a startup company, as a fresh graduates, we don't have a budget to set up all these things. Seriously, we don't have budget to purchase the softwares. We don't have budget to purchase the operating system as well. We don't have, we require 2000 GB of the memory. We don't have that much budget over here. Then that means I don't have budget to put a capital investment. Before you are going to start the development of the project, you have to purchase all these things. But I don't have any amount initially to purchase all these services. One simple example: when I'm starting this project, I thought it is required 2000 GB of the space. Okay, I purchased 2000 GB of the space and memory. At late after 2 months, this is just 6 months. We are just doing 6 months project. Out of the 6 months project, 2 GB memory is enough, I thought. But unfortunately, after 1 month, we required 500 more GB. So you need to replace this 2000 GB with the 2500 GB. Then again you need to purchase a new system or new memory, and you need to set up that configuration and all those things. This is a headache process. To increase the memory size of your laptop or computer or your server, then this is a big headache process. And also I purchased a SQL Server software because we required this one to start the project. This is 1 lakh rupees initially. You need to pay 1 lakh rupees to purchase this one. But I'm going to use only 6 months, right? Why am I necessarily paying 1 lakh rupees? After 6 months, what you are going to do? Are you going to put in OLX? Definitely no. Then you are wasting the money. And this 2000 GB, whatever you are purchasing, right? Today, are you going to use 2000 GB today only? In your mobile, how much memory you are getting? 64 GB. When you are purchasing the mobile, 64 GB of the memory, internal memory, are you using? But you already paid to the mobile companies. What you paid? Already you paid 64-bit memory card amount when you are purchasing the mobile. But you are not fully using that one, right? Why are you paying already but you are not using? So if we have a system, if someone is giving an option how much you are using, pay for that only. Hey, I just use 2 GB of the space only, then pay 2 GB. Pay the cost for 2 GB only. Why you are paying 62 remaining empty 62 GB as well? One more simple example. You have a Google Drive, right? How much memory they are giving in the Google Drive? By default, how much you will get? 15 GB. Am I right? And they are giving, when you are creating a Gmail account, by default they are giving 15 GB of the memory. That means, are they going to keep the 15 GB memory ideal for you? If I am creating 200 Gmail accounts, 200 into 15 GB, how much it is? 2500, 250, 200, 2500 GB of the memory are they going to allocate for you? They will allocate when you are using. Out of this 2500 GB, you uploaded only 5 GB of the data. That means the remaining 2495 memory is keeping empty for you. Absolutely no. It is auto incremental. Based on your usage, whenever it is required, the memory they are going to allocate for you. Same concept here also. Instead of using this on premises memory to store something, why can't you use a kind of cloud memory? So in the on premises systems, there are two disadvantages here. One disadvantage is you are paying already without usage. That is the one disadvantage. The second disadvantage is if you want to change something, the configuration, or for example SQL Server you purchased today, after 5 months there is new updated version is coming, then again you need to update or upgrade your softwares. This is again a headache process. If someone is taking care of all these things, and whatever the softwares you have set up, whatever the infrastructure you have set up, you need to manage. Again you need to spend some time, some money for that particular managing of all these things. Okay, I'm paying, I'm purchasing, I'm setting up, I'm managing. Even though there is no guarantee always your performance of your servers is up. Can you give confirmation, I mean guarantee about your services always are running without any disturbance? You cannot give. So that is the reason what is happening here. If someone is providing all these kind of services based on pay as you go. What do you mean by pay as you go? Pay as you go means usage, how much you are using, what you are using, pay for that only. Whatever the service you are using, how much time you are using, then just pay for that one. So what we are doing, some companies like Microsoft, like Amazon, like Google, they are providing these services. Whatever you are setting in your on premises, the same thing they are setting in their data centers. For example, this is a Microsoft, this is a Amazon, this is a Google. They are setting all the infrastructure in their data centers. What is a data center? Data center is something physical servers available in the back end to run all these programs. Okay, so what they are offering, hey, you no need to worry about this. Whatever you want, just please come and utilize and usage, just pay for that how much you are using. So how you are going to utilize, how are you going to access these things? Through internet. Simply you can go to the Google or Internet Explorer, try to connect to these computers through internet. Through internet you can able to connect. So through the internet web browser, we are going to a particular URL and we are trying to access the services whatever they are providing. This is called cloud computing. Accessing the services provided by someone through internet or the web browser is called a cloud computing. Then you no need to set up anything in your local computer. Simply have a laptop and go open the Google Chrome and go to a particular website www.azure.com. Then inside that you can whatever the services you want to purchase, and you can install the softwares, you can able to design the projects. So what is the advantage of this? The advantage is a simple example I will give you. I want to eat a biryani. Generally, what you will do? Don't tell I will cook in my home. We know the taste of that, right? So generally, if you want to eat a biryani, you will go to the restaurant, because not only the biryani, anything if you want to eat a food, you will go to the restaurant. You will go to the restaurant. You are not going to construct the restaurants, right? Just for eating biryani. Same thing here. You want to implement a project, just for implementing the project, then you are going to all set up this one in your local computers, in your local premises, in the servers. If you are setting all this infrastructure, that means constructing a restaurant to eat a something food by yourself. How much investment is that? Who is going to manage that? So what is the other alternative? Why we need to construct? Simply someone has outside constructed a restaurant, someone has constructed a restaurant, and then he is going to, then we are going to visit that restaurant, order what kind of item you want to eat, and how much time you are staying in that particular restaurant, just pay for that one. Similarly, whatever the softwares, hardwares, or the services you required, simply go over here and usage that one and pay for that. Complete your project and pay only for that time. Clear? So what are the advantages of using this cloud computing? And who are all the cloud providers currently available in the market? The cloud providers is Microsoft. Microsoft has started their business with the name of brand name Azure. They started selling softwares, hardwares in online like a service, that is Azure. And you know Amazon, they have started the same business with the brand name of AWS. You know Google also doing the same business. They are branding it as a GCP, Google Cloud Provider. These three are the vendors. A simple thing, how Amazon is doing business, how Flipkart is doing business. They are selling the products through online. These three people are also doing the same thing. They are selling the services, softwares, hardwares, whatever, through online. Which shop you want to go? I want to go to the Microsoft store. Someone will go to the Amazon store. Someone will go to the Google store. So some clients will come inside the Microsoft Azure. They want to implement their project by using the services. Then you can learn Azure data engineering, and then you will get an opportunity to do a development to the client by using the services inside the Microsoft Azure, kind of a service center. So eClasses is starting a service center for Microsoft Azure. That means if anybody wants to purchase the services inside the Microsoft Azure, then we are developing the project by using the technologies and services provided by Microsoft Azure, because we have the experts of the Azure services. Everyone, every service we can able to implement a project. So these three people are cloud provider vendors. Vendors means they are offering the services. So similarly, how you are going to this Microsoft Azure, www.azure.com. Similarly, you can go to the aws.com, gcp.com, whichever you are more interested. These three are popular cloud providers currently in the market. So inside the Microsoft Azure, what the services they are offering actually? So we can categorize the services high level three. One is EAS, PAS, CAS. What is EAS, PAS, CAS? EAS means all infrastructure related services. All infrastructure related services means includes like networking and hard disk, memory, CPU, RAM, security. All these things will cover under the infrastructure. They are categorizing this one. If you are going to supermarket, groceries, food items, and uh, vegetables, they are organizing the products, right? Similarly, these people are also organizing like this. PaaS, platform as a service, like operating systems, any softwares, whichever you are using to develop something on top of that, that is called a platform. SQL Server also is one of the platform. It is not a software. What do you mean by software? Software is something already developed. You are not going to develop anything on top of that. You are just utilizing. A best example, Gmail. Another example, Office365.com. Inside the Office365.com, it's a cloud. Inside that you have a Outlook or Skype. What you are going to do? Are you going to develop something by using a Skype or Outlook? No. This is called software as a service. PaaS means platform as a service. SaaS means software as a service. Infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. So under this infrastructure related, we have so many services. Under the vegetable section, we have so many vegetables. Similarly, so what are all the services you are going to learn over here? As a Azure data engineer, hardly we are going to learn in this course 10 to 12 services. In the high level, I can say Azure storage account, Azure SQL, Azure Synapse data warehousing, Azure analysis services, Azure data lake, Azure data bricks. The final and for most important one is Azure Data Factory. So these are all the services we are going to discuss. So apart from these two services, the rest all services are the storage. Based on our requirement, we are going to use these services to store the data. Then what is these two? These two services are for I will give you 5 to 10 minutes at the ending to ask the questions. These two services are we are going to use to process the data. A simple use case scenario. I have a supermarket over here and I have another supermarket. When you are going to purchase something in the billing counter, then when they are entering some data, that will come to and store in the backend somewhere over here. Okay, so to store the data, you can use either any of these systems. Then from all these supermarkets, we are going to take their data and keeping into one place for reporting purpose. Who will taken care of this taking the data and keeping into one place? That will be taken care by Azure Databricks or Azure Data Factory services. That is called processing of the data. For storage and processing, for storing of the data, we are using these services. For processing of the data, we are using these services, Azure Databricks and Azure Data Factory. Out of these many services, if you are completing these services, you are a Azure data engineer. Out of these services, I am going to give the weightage for this Azure Data Factory is 70%. 70% of this course is priority for Azure Data Factory, because outside there is a lot of openings for this Azure data engineer. No doubt, there is a lot of openings for Azure data engineers, especially on this Azure Data Factory. Whoever is learning this Azure Data Factory, and some people will learn Power BI also. Why? So this is supermarket. This is another supermarket, and data will come in the backend here and here. Then that data we are loading into one place over here. Then we are going to create reports by taking the data into this Power BI reporting tool. Azure Data Engineer is going to work over here. Power BI developer is going to design the reports over here. Some people are learning both. It is not mandatory. Some people are learning both in a project to implement Azure Data Engineering part as well as Power BI part. We have a demo session for Power BI tomorrow at morning 10 a.m. IST. We have a demo session for Power BI as well, so you can join for the tomorrow. And you can, if you have any questions about the sessions and when it is going to start, all those things we are going to, you can able to reach out 7997 457 228. So this course is of 40 hours of the duration. So daily 1 hour, daily 1 hour, Monday to Saturday. Okay, so every session is a practical session only. So at the ending you will get a project overview, how to implement a Azure Data Engineering. Okay, so e-classes is offering trainings, placements and work support as well. So we have real-time experts in our office and they are going to provide a work support after you are placing into a companies, because you might not, if you have any issues or you are not able to handle a particular task once you are placing on a job, then our experts will be available in my office and you can come to my office and you can take the help, kind of a freelancing. Okay, and for this placement procedure you can able to call to the 7997 457 228. So reach out on this number, and when this is going to start, the timings and all those things we are going to announce shortly. Okay, so to get the update when this batch is going to start, and mostly we are going to start on Tuesday or Wednesday, mostly Wednesday we are going to start on 21st of the July 2021. So we are going to start the timings and all those things, you will get a notification. To get the notification, just save this number and ping in the WhatsApp. Definitely you will get the notification. Without saving this number you will not get the notification. Clear? Any questions from anyone now? Any kind of questions? I'm sorry, not the 21. Wednesday means I hope it's a 28th, I think. Or 27 or 28th we will start. You will get the exact timings and all those things when you are saving this number. You can follow the WhatsApp status as well, and the meeting link and all everything will be changed to sending to you your mobile numbers. Any questions from anyone, guys?
Yeah, hi Ram, this is Prashant.
Yes, Prashant, go ahead.
Yeah, I have one question regarding Azure Data Factory. In Azure Data Factory, you will show the scenario how incremental load will follow in the real-time scenarios.
100%.
Okay, with one example, like how we are getting data and how we can process, and finally what is the output. Like this process, you
Exactly.
can show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything is a practical sessions we are conducting.
Hi Ram, this is Siddharth.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, once the 40 days of course completes, what kind of support can we get from the institute? Because regularly during the interval itself, we get the support from institute. So once
What kind
the
of
40
support you
hours
are
complete,
expecting?
yes, if we have any doubts or anything, we can reach out to the institute.
Yeah, doubts in the sense not technical, I mean your project related.
Yes, project related.
Project related doubts can be chargeable. If you are joining to the, once you are placing to the job, then if you have any questions and any need support, then experts will charge something and they will help you.
Okay, but before placing to the job?
Before the placing, you can ask the question, no issues.
Okay.
Next question. Yeah, so don't worry about your background, whether you have IT background or non-IT background. Mostly we are placing the people from the non-IT background only. So we are training and we are placing them from non-IT background people only. You don't need to worry about your background.
Hi Ram, this is Raja. Will
Yeah,
it cover the syllabus which helps for the certification AZ 203, which has been recently introduced?
Yes, exactly. The certification, this is completely for the DP 203.
Okay. So which is the combination of AZ 200 and AZ
Exactly.
201, right?
Yes.
Okay. That's what we want, because me and Narendra, we are after certification. That's the
Yeah,
reason we want to confirm. So every part of this syllabus will cover towards
yeah.
the
This is
certification.
completely related to that one. So to get the course content, you can able to ping on this number.
Okay, no
You will.
problem. Thanks for the information, Ram.
Okay, guys. For the regular sessions, when we are starting and the timing, you can reach out on this number. Okay.
Hi Ram,
And
one
we
last
have our
question.
office in Amirpet as well. We have 2 offices, so you can reach out, one for the development office and one for the training placement office. So you can reach out by calling this number as well to meet personally. Offline classes currently we do not available. Currently we are in online classes only due to this pandemic situations. Offline classes we might start in future, like in a 2 months or 1 month. We are not sure about that. Based on this third wave we can decide, but currently everything is going on online, and everyday class notes and recording will be shared. Class recording will be shared. Yeah, what is the question?
Ram, for a Azure data engineer, what certifications is necessary for them?
Yeah, once you are completing this course, this 203 certification you can do. DP 203 certification number.
EC 203.
DP, D for
E-
development. Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
Hi Ram, this is Vamshi. There is
yeah,
openings for freshers.
yeah, 100%. Because the companies are looking for trained freshers, not the freshers. Companies are forgetting about the freshers. They are looking always trained freshers. If you're already trained on this particular technology, yes, they are inviting you to give a good offers.
Okay, if we put some 2 years experience, we can sustain by this course.
Yeah, most of the people who are all trained from the E classes, they are putting 4 years of experience minimum.
Okay.
I will guide you how to do that one.
Okay. Thank you, Ram.
Yeah. If you guys are available in Hyderabad, you can reach out my office as well. All right, guys.
Ram,
I hope. Yeah.
sorry, one last question. Can we do this certification if we are not in Hyderabad?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, then I'll reach out to you. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you. Okay. If you have any questions, reach out on that number. We'll meet on our regular sessions.